Good morning.
Hello.
Guess what?
Good
It's working.
morning. Yay! Finally!
Folks,
Oh, thank
you
God.
won't believe the technical difficulties we've been having for an hour and a half. But we're going to go ahead with this morning, and we're going to meet Norma Sunshine, take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because we've had technical difficulties on top of technical difficulties. So Norma, once again, I'd like you to just explain to everyone what you experienced in the workshop this past weekend, and with listening to my video on the most powerful workshop ever that I did on Monday, the 29th of April. So I'm going to let you just speak for as long as you need to, and then we'll do maybe a little bit of an interview depending on the time. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. Because I could definitely talk for a while.
I know.
So I wanted to start with, I had no idea what the workshop was about. That, I think, is really, it started this journey for me where I go into most seminars not knowing really what they're about or what I'm in for, and it's part of me showing up. It's part of me just saying, well, fuck it, it's going to help me, so I'm going to do it. So I go in totally not knowing what is going to happen, and the first night I was really surprised by myself because I was not present at all, and I didn't realize that I did that either until Margie pointed it out and said, "Where are you right now? Because you're not here." And I was like, "What? What is she talking about? My body is here. I must be here." Anyway, after getting present on the second day, we did our monologues, and it could be, like I said in the other video, it could be anything really that just speaks to your heart. A song, a poem. I sang a song and I read one of my own poems actually, and after the work with Margie, I felt so raw, so raw, so open, and feeling the love and compassion from you and from everyone else was just an incredible experience. It helped me open up to the love line that happened on Sunday. But the entire time I had been aware of you because you had come up behind me and you were like, "So this must be Norma." And I was like, the moment we locked eyes, I knew you were a powerful presence, but I was very weary of you. I didn't know how to approach you. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know, and I also didn't know what to do with the bit of attraction that I had to you. So I was like, "Hi, Ron, hi, Ron." Every time we talked, and I didn't know what to say, which is funny because we've been talking, like you said in the video this morning, we've been talking every day this week, and it's like there's so much to say that it's like hard to get off the phone with you at times. So in those moments, though, I felt very shy. I felt very, very closed to that energy, and so I really needed that opening work with Margie, so that I could be open to Sunday's love line. So on Sunday, I too played very different roles. With my sister, my birth sister, who I connected with a lot on that journey together because she actually brought me to the workshop, not telling me anything about what it was about either. Well, so anyway, she and I, we connected, and I felt like we had made a contract before we were even in the womb, and then separated in life actually to come together again when I was 19, that we made this contract of like, well, we are sisters, but we won't know each other until later on in life when we're meant to. And another experience I had, I fell in love with a woman. I was so enthralled by her, so just wanting to pet her face and kiss her and just be intimate with her in that way. And it was because in a past life, I had felt like I was a man, very protective, and that she was just the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. And so, and then when we got to each other, it was actually almost not going to happen, but because Margie had actually forgotten that we had one more person to shift to. So basically, we get to have a heart-to-heart connection with each person in the group. And so we finally got to each other, and I didn't know what was going to happen, but I knew like we were going to work together at some point that weekend. So there we go. We're in front of each other, and this is your heart. This is your heart, and this is my heart. People imagining what this experience would be. And the moment that we locked eyes, I knew that we were connected. And then I love your smile. The moment that we locked eyes and that we connected, like, you were very, very emotional, tearing, and I was trembling. Like, my entire body was just like moving so fast, beyond me, like beyond what my mind was really capable of understanding at the time. And I felt actually tears from my own eyes, but I didn't even know I was crying. So while we were connecting, I feel the connection to you right now as well, even through Skype. So while we were connecting, I first felt a lot of movement, a lot of trembling, a lot of as if you were moving and I were moving, and we were, like you said, melting into each other. And I just kept thinking in my head, I've known him all my life. I've known him all my life. But how is that even possible? Like, how can you be 66 and me 23, and how could I have played with you as a child? And so I took a step back from my mental reeling to try and figure out what the connection was, and I separated from that, and I just let it happen. I said, okay, Norma, relax. Took a breath and just felt that moment of, I've known you forever. And I didn't really know what that meant. I didn't really know how powerful that was for either of us, because I've never actually experienced a love line. And I have connected with people on intimate levels, on eye levels as well, like from soul to soul. And, I'm sure you've done that too. Even in just a moment where you lock eyes with someone, you can connect with them, but you just don't understand the importance, or the I can't even explain the grandness, the grandeur, whatever. Yes, of how important it really is in your life, and how you are with that person. And so when we were talking about the love line afterwards, and I said, we hugged, and I said, I feel like I've known you all my life, and you said, I'll talk more about it during the love line. It was like you needed to recoup for a second too. Or not during the love line, but during the talk about it. So when you started talking, and oh, it was so sweet. You were like, please look at me. I didn't realize that you weren't done with one of the other people in the group yet. And so I looked at you, and the moment I looked at you, you were like, yes, I have known you forever. And you were like, we were melting into each other, and just like two separate beings that had no awareness of each other before in this life. And then the moment that we locked eyes, the moment we connected, it was like we melded together into one. And it was incredible, because there were no barriers, no boundaries, no physical boundaries, no nothing. Like, every single part of my body was tingling, including my private parts. Every part of it, and every part of me was reacting to, I feel, every part of you. And And so during the love line, when you confirmed that feeling, you put voice to that feeling, for me, I realized, wow, this connection is incredible. This connection is so true and so real, and it's something that I really have never experienced before.
7, 2, 7, 9, 4, 9, 5, 5.
I forgot to
Never
take the phone off
experienced.
the hook.
I never experienced before myself, and something I want, like we've spoken about before, something I want to bring to all of my relationships. I mean, the ability to know that. It's so funny. The ability to know that you and I are one no matter what, and I mean, I feel like we'll have that connection for the rest of our lives and for every life to come. And it's an incredible experience as well because, I mean, since the last video that we did that is not showing, I really was thinking about it, about soul presences in each other's lives, about the things that we do before we actually step into this life and start our work, that we must have talked about this, or must have communicated somehow. And I realized that there must have been times in your life for you to understand me so well and for us to communicate so well, that there were cycles in your life that you needed to experience just as I needed to experience, so that we could come together and appreciate each other, which is so important as well, to be able to see someone and actually appreciate them for the love and light that they are, for the love and light that you are. So,
Wow.
yes, experience.
So you mentioned in the other one that you had connected with my friend from Canada, my French-Canadian friend.
Yes.
That I talked about in this morning's video, which you watched earlier. But anyway, she suggested that the experience that you and I had on Sunday a week ago was something that the whole human is going to be available to all humans, that we're going to be able to connect with each other that way and recognize that we're really one big family. And we're going to be able to take it into our romantic relationships, but even beyond romantic relationships, our friendships are going to be enlivened by the knowledge that, hey, we've known each other since before we had these bodies, since before maybe there was even a planet here.
Yes.
That's how infinite and eternal the connection felt to me in the love line, and I had never experienced anything like that till you and I somehow miraculously connected. And then as we've gotten to know each other over the past week, it's just been mind-boggling. Like yesterday in our conversation, you bring up Psalm 91. And you weren't raised in religion. I was raised memorizing the Bible.
No, I wasn't. See, and it's funny that you speak about Psalm 91, because I realized I didn't do my prayers, and that's one of my few prayers that I do every day. And and I was reminded ever so sweetly by Michael, if you just read it, there will be no more technical difficulties. And then you call me on Skype right after I read it, so I was like, oh, God, okay. I have to really put myself first at times and put my connection to God at first, even though I'm very excited to share with you. And so I wanted to say about what your lady friend was saying, and also a little bit about the email that I sent to her as well. But something that I find very intriguing is that I actually met another soulmate last December, and the experience, I couldn't really put words to it the way that I put words to it now, but I was able to realize that we also had played as children, and that we were still playing as children. And this is a man that's like in the middle of France, this is a man that I would never have met in any kind of world except this. So we created the situation so that we could meet each other. And the whole point of that is that it's a choice. And it's something that I very much keep facing with myself, is that it's truly a choice. And so to go off of what she's saying, it's something that we all can choose to do, and as long as we are open to having that love in our lives and releasing these old expectations of the one that's going to save me, the one that's going to do this for me, because it's not just the one. Yes, there's romantic relationships, and yes, there's incredible validity to those romantic relationships, any relationship we have. But if we can just step away from that romantic idea of the connection, we can open ourselves to experience that. I mean, you and I, like, we have an attraction to each other, but it does not need to be a romantic attraction. It's just as long as the experience is acknowledged, and that is, you said that to me, as long as the experience and the feelings are acknowledged, we can use that as like a jumping point for our connection, our true connection.
Yeah. And we are using it that way.
Yes.
That's exactly what's been happening over the past week. As you said, we've conversed every day. A couple of times, maybe twice in the same day, like today more than twice, because of all the technical difficulties of having to connect and then reconnect and then reconnect again. Who would have thunk this, you know?
I know, but you know, I'm actually glad, because the moment that I ended that prayer, you called me, and so it was like immediate, like instant gratification, you know? Instant gratification for myself. And I wanted to say also about the email, something that I really wanted to express to her and to myself and to everybody, is that at first, like, this spirituality was an escape for me. And like most people, we use any kind of anything. It could be a drug, it could be alcohol, it could be a relationship. Shit, for me, it used to be sex. It could be anything. So I used to use this spirituality as a way to escape a relationship that I was in at the time that I wasn't very happy in. And so but as I came into it, I realized that that I can go out and learn all I want, but really the knowledge is within me. And that if I go out and learn these things and I don't apply them, I don't actually practice what I preach to myself. It doesn't matter to anyone else's standards but my own. I have my own rituals that I do every day that some people might think are crazy. But to me, these are so important to my life and to my work. And so, but it took me a lot of seminars, a lot of these experiences to realize that really it's me that needs to make the choice to live this life as I want to.
You know, I don't think we're going to go as long as we did the other day. Of course, there was sort of like 4 minutes or 5 minutes maybe on the other one that really wasn't useful in the thing. But we're going to do more videos like this. I'm getting feedback right now. Can you hear it? Is it coming out on your end?
No.
I'm getting a feedback. But anyway, we'll see how it comes out in the recording.
Okay.
It didn't do it that time. But anyway, as I was saying, we're gonna do other videos, I'm sure, and we've had a chance to let my huge fan base around the world. I don't even like calling them fans. Friend base sounds better.
Yeah. Got better too.
Yeah. Get a chance to meet Norma Sunshine, and you did that name Sunshine was applied to you just relatively recently, wasn't it?
Oh.
Uh-oh, there's an internet.
Yes, my lovely friend Doug was like, "You are just a ray of sunshine. Norma Sunshine, the ray of sunshine with her church of fun." And so I was like, it sticks. It actually works really well. I wanted to, before we go, I wanted to read two poems, one from Rumi and one from me. And I actually have read you this poem before, and it's about, it actually was written before we met, but it pertains so much to our connection. So I wanted to read it for the world, if that's okay.
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 Okay. Very good.
It does not have a title. I turn off my iPad and instantly the birds are singing, a delicate language of heartbeats and notes, a calling to listen. A stillness, becoming the bench beneath me, I am silent, and I can hear which song is close, hiding in the meadow, and which is carried by wind from the chicken wire fence across the plain. They sing of their lives, their day, other duties, I'm sure, and it reminds me of my own music, this obsession to find a soundtrack to my life, a song I can belt out into the night, shining light on irreverent shadows. With soundtrack comes movie, a story played out before my eyes, my life, my day, my duties, and all I want sometimes is to sit silent and melt my song into the earth. Come alive with each being's song. Shine delight.
Yes. And your light shines, girl.
Ah,
Your light
likewise.
shines.
Likewise.
And now the Rumi poem that you concluded with basically on Friday when we did the video the first time.
Well, this is actually a different one, but this one
Okay.
was incredible. God, I'm inspired by him. I mean, I'm reading literally each 360 a year with Rumi. So I read him every day. So this is actually called The Sight of a Soul. One of the marvels of the world is the sight of a soul sitting in prison with the key in its hand, covered with dust, with a cleansing waterfall an inch away. A young man rolls from side to side, though the bed is comfortable and a pillow holds his head. He has a living master, yet he wants more, and there is more. If a prisoner had not lived outside, he would not detest the dungeon. Desiring knows there is satisfaction beyond this. Straying maps the path. A secret freedom opens through a crevice you can barely see. The awareness a wine drinker wants but cannot be tasted in wine. But that failure brings his deep thirst closer. And that's it.
Thank you. I need to get that book because I love Rumi and Hafiz too. Those two Sufi poets that the Islamic world gave us many, many years ago, centuries ago actually.
Yes, thousands of years.
They blessed the world in the 20th and 21st century, even though they lived probably I don't know how long ago they actually were. Does it say in the book how long ago Rumi was around? I think they might have been contemporaries.
He died in 1273.
Yeah, so that's a few years ago. Before even before I was born.
Actually, who knows? Me and you, we might have been around at that time.
We probably were. It's been a pleasure doing a take 2 of Meet Norma Sunshine, and I thank you for your patience in an hour and a half of technical difficulties trying to make two software programs communicate with each other that always worked before. Well, I actually only one other time did I ever do a VOD burner thing, but anyway, it worked this time, and thank you.
Yeah.
You have a beautiful rest of the weekend, and I need to call my friend back.
Thank you.
Thank you, Norma. Bless you. Namaste.
Oh, I love you. Namaste.
Yes, I love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.